With the stay-at-home order still in effect around major cities, most cities around the world actually reported a drop in crime. But that doesn't mean that there's not criminals that are still out there. Earlier this month, it was actually captured on the doorbell video camera. Two individuals masked with N95 masks, coronavirus issue mask, and like surgical gloves, trying to break into a house with the intent of robbery. The homeowner was there home with his wife and two kids, and he was able to fight off one of the intruders, and he was able to fight him off of his property and force him into the street. And when he was going back into his house, he heard screaming and crying upstairs. So when he went upstairs, he saw the other intruder armed with a gun, pointing it at his family. At that point, he had reached into his secret spot where he had his family gun and shot one time into the intruder's chest, which killed him. Now, I want you to put yourself in that situation and try to think about what you would do in his shoes. Now, there's only one of two ways that could play out. One, you defend yourself and your family and you shoot him and you don't have to worry about that again. Or two, you're not armed, you don't have anything, and you just jeopardize your family, your life, and all the possessions that you have. So, the issue I want to talk about today is just gun control. I feel like there shouldn't be a complete ban on guns, on any type of gun. I feel that there should be laws that should be implemented that make it tougher to get guns. Like, for instance, maybe background checks for sure, and for sure more sophisticated mental health checks. I feel that if that were implemented in today's system, it would prevent a lot of issues from arising, such as mass shootings that have been going on in the past couple years. Those are definitely tragic situations, and I've personally known people who have been in situations that have been in shootings like that, and it's horrible. I've heard horrible stories about it, but I do not feel that a complete ban on all guns would fix that situation. So, the Department of Justice reports that 38% of assaults and 60% of rapes actually occur in home invasions, and there are roughly 4,500 home invasions that happen every day in the United States. So that just goes to show the dangers that are present in society today, and what comes of not having a gun. Like I said, I feel like a ban on guns shouldn't be implemented. Only another reason for that would be because it completely violates our Second Amendment right, which is our right to bear arms. Even our founding fathers put that as their Second Amendment. It should mean a big deal that it's one of the first 10 amendments. It's in the Bill of Rights. Our Second Amendment is the right to bear arms, because they understood that a nation unarmed is a nation of sheep, and it is a nation that can be easily manipulated to do whatever the government wants. For instance, governments have done that in the past for Nazi Germany in World War II, and the Soviet Union during World War II, and that was how they were able to stay in power and to thrive for the time that they were. So, I feel like gun regulation should be tighter on that. A good story for this would be last year during Texas. There was an individual had walked into a church and had shot, I believe it was 2 or 3 people. He had shot 2 or 3 people in there. Luckily the ushers that were there ushering at the church, they were armed and had concealed carry permits, and were able to stop and neutralize the shooter. And that just goes to show that just goes to show the amount of trauma and damage that was saved from the people of Texas. I mean, yeah, 2 people were killed, but 2 people is better than a massacre, because that's what it would have been if those armed ushers weren't there to help. So that's just my opinion, and I feel that guns shouldn't be banned.